Hello everybody, welcome. We are about to play a full game of Splendor and teach you how to play as we go. I have my friend Spencer here who's going to help me as we play on Board Game Arena, and we're going to be playing a round of Splendor. And the first thing that you need to know is that there's 4 different actions you can take on your turn. I'm going to take the first turn as the little icon's telling me to do so. So I look at what I can buy and I can select some tokens. The thing that I'm going to do on my turn is I'm going to select 3 different tokens of different colors. And so that is the first option you are allowed to do. The other thing you can do is you can get 2 tokens of the same color as long as there are at least 4. So as of right now, Spencer could take 2 blues or 2 reds because there's 4 left, but he couldn't take 2 of the other ones. After that, what you can do is you can actually buy a development card by using the gems you have, or you can do what Spencer just did and you can reserve a card. So all of these 16 cards are available for purchase if you have enough gems. But this card that Spencer just reserved, he is now the only one that is allowed to buy that for the rest of the game. And when you reserve a card, you also get that little gold token, which can be used as any color in the future. So it's my turn, and I'm going to do the same thing that I did last turn. I'm going to get 3 gems of different colors, and let's go for that one as my last one. So I got a white, a red, and a brown. And now it goes to Spencer. And so you just keep going back and forth, getting the different tokens on your turn or buying a development card. You can only take 1 of the 4 actions each time. And then once you get to the later in the game, you'll start getting point cards. So on these little cards, on the top right is the gem that the development card can be used for in the future. And we'll explain that a little more as I get that. And then these are the points that you can get as you go. So I'm going to take a brown, I'm going to take a white, and I'm going to take a blue as my turn. And then the other thing that you have to watch out for as you play is that you can never have more than 10 tokens at a time. So right now you can see that I have 9 out of my 10 tokens. So my next turn, I would only be able to select 1 token, or I would have to buy a card. So Spencer on his turn just bought a card. That's why this little blue icon now shows a 1, seeing that he holds 1 blue development card, which can be used in the future to purchase a card. And we'll explain that when that happens. So I'm going to buy this. Let's see, do I want to buy the red or the white? Because those are my 2 options right now. I'm going to go with the white card. So by buying this one, I now get a white gem development card. And what that means is that that is a perpetual white gem that I can use in the future without having to get rid of it. So, for example, this one on the left is 3 blue, 1 green, and 1 white. So I could buy this one by paying 3 blue or 1 green. I wouldn't have to pay the white because I have that development card. So getting a lot of these ones on the bottom can be very helpful when you're trying to get some of the higher up cards that are worth more points. And then I think the last thing that we have to go over right now is the nobles. So these ones will make sense closer to the end of the game. I've seen that when I try to teach this game to someone, it usually takes them to see the full game play out before they really understand the nobles, which is why this is a good thing we're doing this live on Board Game Arena. So, for example, this lady up here, Mary Stewart, is 4 red cards and 4 green cards. So a lot of people get confused in thinking if they have enough cards plus gems, they can buy it. This is a free action. So it comes on your turn for free once you have enough cards. So not including gems, if I have 4 red cards and 4 green cards, I get the Mary Stewart Noble Visit for free. So that's 3 points that comes on the turn, and I don't have to do anything specific to get it. So that's really nice, and you can change the tide of the game really at the end of the game, because I've seen my brother-in-law, he always gets a lot of those, and so he can shift things up a lot right there at the end when you think you're going to win. And it can be kind of frustrating when you've had a full game going and you're doing good and then somebody takes all the nobles. But it can also be a great strategy if you go for it early enough on. So let's see. If you have any questions at all, if you're watching live, leave them in the chat. And if you're watching on the replay, leave them in the comments down below, because what we're going to do is I've already released 2 quick videos that give answers about Splendor. And I'd love to do more videos about them in the future if you have any questions. Okay, so we're looking at Spencer's turn. And I got to figure out what my strategy is going to be. as we go forward. So you win the game when you get to 15 points. So in Board Game Arena, it counts the number of points here next to this little star icon. So as we buy cards that have the point value on them, we get those points. If you get the noble, you get those points. And first one to 15 points wins. And then what happens if once somebody reaches 15 points is everybody else is going to get one more turn if they haven't already got it. So for example, I started the game, so if I go out by getting 15 points, Spencer is going to get one more turn to make sure that we all have an equal number of turns. But if Spencer goes out and gets 15, the game's over. I don't get any chance to beat him. So that's something to be aware of as we go forward. And man, we are running out of gems. Spencer's holding 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and I'm about to pick up 3 more. Okay. So let's go for that. And yeah. If you have any questions, please let me know. I would love to answer them. Spencer bought a card. He now has 2. I'm going to buy... I have enough to buy this one, and Spencer has enough of that token too, so I can't pass that one up and let him get it on his next turn. So I'm going to take that one. And then for everybody watching, be sure to stick around until the end of the live stream. We're going to be going over some different strategies and how the game went, why one of us beat the other person, and some things that we could have done if somebody else hadn't gotten in our way, and then see how everything goes from there. Okay, so Spencer has 1 green, 1 blue, and 1 red. I have 2 reds and 1 white. Let's see where we want to go with this. We're just going to take 3 gems and see where we're at after that. Okay, now it's Spencer's turn. And if there are other games that you would want us to play in the future on Board Game Arena or teach you how to play like we're doing in this video, let us know in the comments down below. Okay, so what is my long-term strategy? Okay, so I can buy 2 of them that are open to me, but what would be the best option? Okay, so here's something that's interesting that I'm going to show you. So the 2 ones that I can get, this one's worth 5, you have to pay 5 gems to get it. This one you have to pay 7. But 2 of the 7 are ones that I have. I have 2 red development cards. So I'm only paying out 5 for this one as well. So that's the route I'm going to go because this one also gets me a point. And so it's pretty much equal to this one because I'm giving out the same number of gems, but it makes it easier for me because I'm getting closer to getting 15 points. So what that now does for me is I have this little 1 point here, and then I also have a blue development card that I can use in the future. So that's where if you can buy some of the upper ones, you can sometimes get them technically for cheaper than the ones at the bottom. It just depends on what development cards you're holding at the time. But I really love this game because there's a lot of different strategies you can employ, and Spencer just bought the one that I was maybe going to purchase on that one, which is a good strategy. And I can't even remember if I would have been able to buy it after that because I had spent my gems on other stuff. But we're fully depleted on green, so we'll take one of those. Let's see, where do we want to go from here? Let's go for a red, and then let's end with a white. So green, white, and red for that turn. Okay, so long-term strategies. You can see at the top, there's 7 blue for this one, and there's 7 brown for this one. You can see the difference in amount of points you can get. So these ones up top can be really big in terms of winning the game. So you can see that this one is worth 5 points. That's 1/3 of the points that you need to win. So that can be very helpful in the long run because you can pull out a victory, especially if you get a top one. On the same turn you get a noble, you can have like an 8-point swing, and that can be devastating to your opponents. Okay. I want a green. I would want a red, but there are no reds left. Spencer's holding 3 of them, and I think I know which card he's going for because he has 4 of them. So I could reserve that one before he gets it, but that's probably not my best strategy because I could get 3 gems otherwise and get some more long-term stuff. So we're going to go for a brown, and we are going to take a blue. So yeah, in my opinion, I like to go for it 3 gems as many times as I can because it really helps in the long run. You get more out of a turn if you're able to do that and then focus on spending the least amount of gems possible when you're making purchases. But let's see. I need to figure out if I'm ever going to reserve something because that can be a really good strategy to do. Okay, so let's see. There are so many greens out there. 6 of the 16 are green. That's crazy. That's one of the things that's so fun about this game is that it's always different. No matter what happens, you can always see the different things that are going on because there's always different cards that come up in different orders. So Spencer's really debating over there what he's going to get. So I know he has enough to get this blue one. He also has enough to get this brown one. And okay, so he got 1 point. We are now tied. And let's see. Ooh, I do want that red one. Thank you very much. I always love when the card that comes up is one that you really want. It's always frustrating when you're playing like a 4-player game and the other 3 people, like a card gets flipped over and they subsequently buy them every single time. And so you're like, wait, I didn't even have a chance to buy that card. But I love Splendor. Splendor is one of my favorite games. And I'm glad that Board Game Arena just recently added it here. This game can be fun even if you don't like a lot of strategy because it's just kind of fun to collect the gems and get them for free. But then if you want to dive deeper into some strategies, dang it, Spencer. I wanted that one. Oh, that was such a good one. Okay, where do we want to go? Let's go with a brown. Let's go with a green. And then let's go with a white. Those are my 3 that I'm taking this turn. And then just to reiterate what we had talked about earlier, you can only have 10 gems, so I have 8 already. So on this turn, my only options would be to take 2 gems, make a reserve, or to buy something. So let's look at this. This one would cost me 4 gems. This one would cost me only 1 blue and 1 green. This one would cost me 2 gems. So, which one do I want to do? Yeah, we're going to go this one. We're going to buy this one right here, which then gives me a green development card. That was the one you were going for?
That's the one I wanted.
So, that always happens. That's one of the things that can be, you can get really ruthless in this game and go after ones they're going for, or you can just kind of play your own game and then you still kind of get in the way of people's stuff. No, that's such a good one, but I can't buy it. That's so sad. Okay, let's see where we're gonna go from here. And just to remind everybody, grateful to have you on the live stream. If you have any questions, let us know. Whether watching it live or on the replay, we would love to get you some answers to your questions. Okay, let's get, which one do I want? Yeah, let's go with this one. Ooh, that's a good one. I always love the 2s and 1s on the bottom. Those are always, yep, Spencer loves those ones too, apparently. Okay, so I really want that blue, so we're gonna buy it. Ooh, this is not looking good for something that's going on. Man.
I haven't had to spend a coin at all for like the past 5
Really?
years.
That's awesome. So Spencer's been playing it right. He's been playing where he doesn't have to spend any coins, which is a good strategy to go for. Man, I have some strategies that I'm going for, and I can see that Spencer's getting in the way of some of them, but I don't want to talk about it because he's right here in the room, and then I'm giving away my strategies. Oh, this is gonna be This is going to be interesting. So right now we're still fairly early in the game. We both only have 1 point, but it's getting close to the point where we're going to start getting points on almost every turn because we both have so many development cards. Dang it. You are crushing it. And you can get... You're going to be able to get a noble on the next turn. There's nothing I can do about it because I can reserve it, but that's not going to stop you for long. Man, that is really hard to figure out. Okay, let's go with 1 brown, let's go with 1 green, and let's go with a white. Confirm. Okay, let's see what Spencer does. I think I know what he's going to do. That was not what I expected, but that is good for me. I mean, it's still bad for me because then he gets closer to other nobles, but... Oh, I just want to know how this game's going to end. What is Spencer going to do? Moment of truth. So for those who are watching live or on the replay, just to let you know, after this game of Splendor is over, where we're explaining how to play throughout the game, we are going to play a couple more games on Board Game Arena. So if you have any other games you want us to play, let us know in the chat. And then what we're going to do is we're going to cut it off and post it as a separate video so that we can have this live stream be as effective as possible to help people learn how to play Splendor, and so it's not a super long live stream, but then we still have the ability to hang out with all of you here. So if you have any games that you'd like us to play on Board Game Arena, let us know in the comments. Man. So we're both tied at 2. Never mind, I spoke way too soon. Spencer has 4. Oh, man. Yeah, I need this one. Okay, this is getting interesting. So right now, nobody has any cards reserved. Oh, another thing about the reserving cards is you can only have a maximum of 3 cards at a time reserved, and the only way to get rid of a reserved card is to buy it. You can't discard it ever. And Spencer just got a noble. Man, 8-2. I am getting creamed. Okay, how do I want to go about this? Oh my gosh. Stop it, Spencer.
I just got lucky.
You were doing so good on this one. Okay, let's see. So there's like barely anything I can do. Let's see. Do I want white? Yeah, I'll take a white. Cash Evans, have you played Unmatched? I have not. What is Unmatched? Can you tell me in the comments? I think I've seen one for Jurassic Park, and then I've seen a couple other ones, but I haven't ever played them. So that would be interesting to try sometime. I don't know if that one's on Board Game Arena. Which Unmatched game is your favorite? Because I think there's quite a few of them if I'm thinking of the right game. It's still Spencer's turn. He's taking more time on his turns, which makes sense on why he's obliterating me. That and his skill in Splendor. Let's see. So I can get either of those blue ones. Oh. Let's hope. Okay, good. Didn't want a certain card to come out. This game is 8-2. 9-2. Yes! I did it! I got a noble! Spencer was 1 away from getting that one, and I was stressed he was going to get that one. 5 whites and 5 blues? That's crazy. Okay, Spencer's turn. Let's see where he goes. So, Spencer is 6 points away from victory. I'm 9 points away from victory. Remember that if Spencer gets... Oh my gosh. Spencer's 4 points away. Okay, let's see how this goes. So I just got the second noble, which is really good for me. So I'm down by 3. Let's figure out how we can pull this off if possible. So while Spencer's going, cash. Yes, there are different sets. I haven't used Board Game Arena. I just got introduced to Tabletop Simulator, which is where I play it. I'd say it's like a mixture of chess and Yu-Gi-Oh! It's unique. Okay, that's super cool. Yeah, I'll have to try one of those sometime. I don't have access to them at the moment. Board Game Arena, there's a decent amount of games that are free, and then you can pay a premium to play games like Splendor. As long as only as one person that you know has the premium subscription, you can play. So it's my turn. Where do I want to go? Gotta figure out how I can pull this off in the least amount of turns possible because we're getting close on time. Okay, so this one will give me a decent amount of points, so we're gonna go for that one. Okay, 10 to 11. It's getting close. So there's no more nobles to take points on. Oh! Spencer needs 1 more point and he wins. I think he's got this one in the bag. Yeah, he has he has 7 greens, 5 whites and 5 blues. Yeah, he's got this one in the bag. We'll just go with this one for now. Okay, moment of truth. Which one's Spencer gonna buy? Spencer wins. Congratulations. Okay, now that that is over, Spencer, come join us in on the screen. We've got a microphone for Spencer. We're going to talk about what... Oh, over there. Perfect. We're going to talk about how that game went, how Spencer was able to utterly obliterate me, and then we'll get into some more games on Board Game Arena. So, looking at it, Spencer has, I think, the most amount of cards I've ever seen purchased in a game. Like 7 green cards and then 5 of those ones. That was crazy. Let's get you in on this. What's your secret?
Part of it's just beginner's luck. This is probably the 3rd time I've played this game. But at the beginning, so some of the cards on the bottom on the first level are 4, kind of like that diamond one, but they're all 1s. If you reserve that card, you get a gold coin, and then on your next turn you get the other 3. You just get 3 of them, and then that gives you a card for 1 cheaper. And so reserving like that on the 4 cards can get you a cheaper card because it gives you a gold coin. And so that's what I tried to do to get some kind of cheaper coins.
That's definitely a good way to go about it, because if you can reserve it, then the other people can't buy it. So he could leave that in his reserved cards for as long as he needs, and then you can potentially not even spend your gold token and save that up for something later if you wanted to, and just pick up enough for the other ones. So congratulations, Spencer, on winning at Splendor. So now if you are watching on the replay, it's going to cut off about now, and I'll put a link to the after party, where we're going to play some other games on Board Game Arena, so be sure to check us out there.